Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. So, Manchester United are considering dropping some first team regulars for our Europa League games next month. Of course, it is the knockout stages. We do play Lask on the 5th of August in the second leg. As you all know, we are 5-0 up from the first leg, so we are more or less into the quarterfinals of the Europa League. By the way, we are emerged as one of the favourites to win the Europa League. I want Manchester United to win the Europa League because obviously, if we do, it will be our first trophy under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years, and I think that's like the first time since the late 80s. As you all know, in the Europa League group stage, we given full debuts to Tahith Chong, Dylan Levitt, James Garner, Dishan Bernard. We also give debuts to Tahith Angel Gomez. He was another one. So yeah, we give a lot of players, their full debuts at the football club. Didn't also Ethan Laird make his full debut for the football club in the Europa League group stage? So yeah, I did say, didn't I, Solskjaer's going to make rotation in the squad, for our Europa League games. Like I said, anyway, Solskjaer's got to give, the youngsters more opportunities. But I think probably, the players we're going to drop for our Europa League games is probably, Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, I think Bruno Fernandes has played every game for Man United more or less since his arrival from Sporting Lisbon in January. Obviously, we've got Bruno Fernandes in a deal with £65 million, with add-ons included. Bruno Fernandes has 10 goals for Manchester United since his arrival from Sporting Lisbon. Don't forget, Bruno Fernandes has won Player of the Month for Manchester United 3 times. He got Player of the Month for June. He also got it for March, and he also won it in February, reflecting on his good run of performances. Also to Marcus Rashford, he could be dropped for the Europa League games. Maybe he won't. Like I said, Rashford wasn't too good at the start of the season, didn't really make an impact. Then obviously, had that back injury, was out for a few months with that back injury. Then obviously, towards the end of the season, didn't really make the best of impacts. We know that Marcus Rashford has been playing on that left-hand side throughout the course of this season. Also to Anthony Martial. He could also be dropped in the Europa League games. I think Martial's enjoyed a very, very good season for Manchester United. This has been Martial's 5th season at the football club, and like I've said before, Martial's had 2 good seasons out of the 5 seasons he's been with Man United. He's done well this season under Solskjaer, and he did very, very well in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. We did pay around £36 million for Anthony Martial from Monaco. Mason Greenwood, maybe he will be involved in the Europa League games, because Mason Greenwood was only getting starts towards the end of the season, because earlier on in the season, a lot of Mason Greenwood's appearances were coming from the bench. But obviously, now Mason Greenwood is our preference over Daniel James. I think James will be involved in our Europa League games. James has had a good season for Man United. He was starting a lot of the games for the vast majority of the season, but towards the end of the season, Daniel James, did not get selected to start. But we did pay £15 million for him from Swansea last summer. Also to Harry Maguire. I think he may get some rests. I think Harry Maguire he's at all 38 games this season for Man United in the Premier League. Some Manchester United fans don't think Harry Maguire is good enough to captain the team. We did give Harry Maguire the captaincy, reflecting on Ashley Young's departure. Don't forget, back in January. Obviously, this was Harry Maguire's first season at the football club. I think he's had an up and down season. We got Harry Maguire last summer from Leicester for £80 million. So he's the second most expensive signing at the club and the most expensive centre-half in the world is Harry Maguire. So yeah, he could be possibly dropped. Luke Shaw, he's another one that could. Well, we know Luke Shaw can't play anywhere. Sorry, because Luke Shaw's out for the rest of the season. Because Luke Shaw has got an ankle injury. Missed games towards the end of the season with this ankle injury. Don't forget, Luke Shaw was out with injury for the first part of the season, but still a very, very good left back is Luke Shaw. This has been his 6th season now at Manchester United. We did pay around £30 million in from Southampton, so Brandon Williams will get his chances in the Europa League, and I think Brandon Williams has enjoyed a very, very good season for Manchester United. I think Modine Ighalo, he'll be involved in our games in the Europa League. We did get Odin Ighalo on deadline day in January. We made the right decision by getting him in because we had to get a backup into Marcus Rashford, because at that time we got Ighalo in. Rashford was still out with that back injury. Ighalo was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup. Don't forget, it did confirm before the resumption of the season that we did extend Odin Ighalo's loan until January 2021, but obviously with no option to buy Ighalo, or there's no obligation to buy. So after his loan spell with us, I presume he'll go back to Shanghai Shenhua with Odin Ighalo. But his starts are now limited anyway. But he could get some starts in the Europa League. He really, really could. Diego Dalot, maybe he could get some chances, maybe. Diego Dalot only made one start in the Premier League this season. Obviously, he had a few injuries earlier on in the season. I don't think Diego Dalot's good enough to represent Manchester United. And we did get Diego Dalot in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We did pay around £19 million in from Porto, and Dalot has got a contract with us until 2023. But he is a backup to Wan-Bissaka. So actually, Wan-Bissaka could be rested in these games in the Europa League, because we've played Wan-Bissaka a lot throughout the course of the season. I think he started around 34 of our games in the Premier League this season. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka didn't start in the game against West Ham. And there was also another game that Wan-Bissaka did not start in. But I think Wan-Bissaka's enjoyed a very, very good start to his Manchester United career. He's enjoyed a very, very good season, because this was his first season at the football club. We did pay around £45 million in from, I think it was £50 million, from Crystal Palace last summer. But I think he can be our right back for the last 9 or 10 years. I think Wan-Bissaka completed the most tackles in the Premier League this season, so that's a very, very good stat. But we need to see more of the attacking side of Wan-Bissaka's game. There's a possibility chance that Bay could get some chances in the Europa League. That's if he's available. I'm not too sure. Don't forget, recently Eric Bay has been out with a head injury. Obviously, Eric Bay sustained a lot of injuries as a Man United player, and that's my only element of concern about Eric Bay, is that he is injury prone. Phil Jones and Tuanzebe are out with injury at the moment, but I think they are expected to be back in August, so maybe they could also play some part. I think for the Europa League games next month, we need to start Sergio Romero and drop David De Gea. Whether Manchester United will do this or not, I do not know. There was a lot of United fans saying that we should have dropped David De Gea for There's a lot of United fans saying we should have dropped David De Gea for, the West Ham game, and we also should have dropped him for the Leicester game, but obviously, Manchester United didn't do this. Sergio Romero, has done very, very well in the FA Cup for us. But I don't think, David De Gea should start our Europa League games. Manchester United have been very, very critical of David De Gea. This has been David De Gea's 9th season at the football club, and he's approaching his 10th year at Manchester United. Like I've said before, De Gea's had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been with us. David De Gea has made 404 appearances for Man United in all competitions. I think he's made around 300 odd appearances in the Premier League. Solskjaer was talking about De Gea quite a few weeks ago, saying that De Gea has been the best goalkeeper in the world for the last 9 or 10 years or so. But when De Gea does eventually leave Manchester United, I think he will go back to Spain. Possibly anyway, Dean Henderson could be our number one for next season. You already know the news regarding Dean Henderson. You know, contract talks with Dean Henderson have hit a crucial stage, according to Sky Sports recently, and his future will be more clearer in the next couple of weeks. Dean Henderson's had 2 successful loans at Sheffield United. He's definitely been their player of the season. He's had quite a few other loan spells as well, with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. You know, we got Dean Henderson back in 2011 from Carlisle. We got him at just the age of 14, Dean Henderson. But we're looking at getting him a 5-year deal at the club, and reportedly could be one of the highest paid goalkeepers in Europe and all of that. So, yeah. McTominay and Fred, I think they're going to get given some opportunities in the Europa League games. You know, maybe they could get starts. Obviously, you know, for the first part of the Premier League season and for like the second half of the season, you know, McTominay and Fred were getting a lot of starts, weren't they? Don't forget. But towards the end of the season, McTominay and Fred weren't getting starts. Obviously, you know, Matic was getting there ahead of them, because Matic was getting a lot of starts towards the end of the campaign. But I do really, really like McTominay. I think he's enjoyed a very, very good season for Manchester United. He really, really has. Obviously, you know, he was out injured earlier on in the season with an ankle injury. Don't forget, before we played Sheffield United, it had confirmed that we'd give McTominay a new 5-year contract at the football club. But I think McTominay is the foreseeable future for Man United. Fred, I think he's also enjoyed a good season. And he has confounded his critics wrong as Fred. Obviously, back under the Jose Mourinho, where he received a lot of criticism. But there again, you know, Fred never really got his opportunities under the Jose Mourinho, where I think we got Fred again in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We got him for like £52 million. But throughout the course of the season, you know, very, very mobile and held his line very, very well. You know, but Matic, I think he's also had a good season. You know, I don't think we'll sell him in this summer transfer window. He's aging up now, though. He's in his 30s. This has been Matic's 3rd season at Manchester United. You know, we did pay around £40 million in from Chelsea back in 2017. Jesse Lingard, I think he could get some opportunities in the Europa League. Jesse Lingard, very, very inconsistent, as you all know. Jesse Lingard did score in our 2-0 win against Leicester on the final day of the season. That was his first goal for Manchester United since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game in charge. So that just indicates how inconsistent Lingard's been. He has scored, though, in 3 of our finals, to be fair. But yeah, he's definitely got a point to prove. Juan Mata, you know, he could get a chance in the Europa League. I know that Juan Mata now doesn't get a lot of starts for Manchester United, but when he does get given his chances, you know, he does make an impact. Like I've said before, Juan Mata has had a fantastic career at Manchester United. This has been Juan Mata's 6th season at the football club. You know, we did get him back in 2014 from Chelsea. You know, we paid just under £40 million for the player. Also to Andres Pereira, he's another one. He could get some opportunities. Andres Pereira doesn't get in the team now a lot anyway. He's found game time very, very difficult since Bruno Fernandes came in. Andres Pereira, a lot of his appearances throughout the course of this season have come from the bench. But yeah, you know, we're definitely going to win the second leg, obviously, against Lask. We did very, very well in the first leg, like I mentioned. Won by 5 goals to nil. I think the goals were from Odion Ighalo, Daniel James, Juan Mata, Mason Greenwood and Andres Pereira. I think we are unbeaten in our last 9 matches against Austrian clubs. The quarter-final draw for the Europa League has already been done. You know, it's already been done. The quarter-final games will be played on the 10th and the 11th of August. We did win the Europa League back in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho era. You know, we did beat Ajax in the final by 2 goals to nil. But throughout the course of the Premier League season anyway, you know, Solskjaer made a lot of rotation in the squad. You know, reflects on the amount of injuries that Manchester United had. Don't forget, there was a period where Solskjaer went with the exact same team for 5 league games in a row. And that's the first time we've done that since, February 1993. So that's a good, 27 years ago now. But yeah, our priority now is the Europa League. Obviously, this summer transfer window is also very imperative because we do want to get the players that we do want in. I think it's a fantastic achievement, though, to get qualification for the Champions League and to finish third. Because let's put into the equation, earlier on in the season, you wouldn't have even thought we'd have finished in the top 10, the way things were going. Because earlier on in the season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And at that point, Solskjaer was close to getting sacked as Manchester United manager. But let's put into the equation, this was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the football club. We are unbeaten in our last 14 Premier League games. We went on the 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions, until Chelsea beat us in the FA Cup semi-final. It was a shame that we went out of the FA Cup because I wanted us to win it. We still had a good run, though. We did well to progress to the semi-final. We got to the semi-final by beating Wolves in the third round replay, beat Tranmere in the fourth round 6-0, beat Derby in the fifth round 3-0, beat Norwich in the quarterfinals 2-1. So we did, have a good FA Cup run. But, since January, we have really, really rejuvenated ourselves. We really, really have, I've seen a hell of a lot of improvements under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But don't get me wrong, there's still improvements needed at Manchester United. There really, really is. I think, we need to keep the ball better. Probably our forwards need to be slightly more clinical. I think, defensively we need to improve. I think we probably need to be quicker on the flanks and that. Maybe Solskjaer's decision-making needs to slightly improve as well. But I think his decision-making in general has actually, improved, But that still needs to improve. And I think now Solskjaer, obviously, at Manchester United knows his best formation. He also knows what his best 11 is and that, But more or less, since Solskjaer came in, everybody's been given their chances to express themselves, including the young players. And to be fair, throughout the course of the season, Solskjaer promoted the youth very, very well, to be quite honest with you. But like I said to you, there's some players that have found game time difficult at the club. Garner found game time hard. We're going to loan Garner out anyway, I think. To Heath Chon, I think we're also going to loan him out. He's found game time hard. Dylan Levitt found game time hard. Tuanzebe Fosu-Mensah, found game time hard. So there you go. Now, I just want to give you some latest news on some transfers. So I just want to give you some news regarding Gabriel Magalhaes from Lille. I spoke with you about him earlier on today. Then I want to give you the breaking news regarding Jadon Sancho. So, the news is on Gabriel Magalhaes is that reportedly his representatives are in the UK negotiating a move. Now, reportedly, Manchester United, Arsenal and Everton are all interested in the player. It recently said that PSG are interested, and it also said that Napoli are interested. It did recently say from Sky Sports that Napoli are emerged as the favourites to sign the player. Napoli have already signed Victor Osimhen from Lille. They paid around £45 million for him. Now, Gabriel Magalhaes is available for around £27 million. There was stories coming out earlier on today saying that we've put an offer in of £27 million plus bonuses. Now, Gabriel Magalhaes has got a contract with Lille until 2023. And I think since his arrival at Lille, he has made around 52 appearances. Lille did pay around 1.5 million for him. I think they got him from Avia. And he's also had loan spells with Troyes and Dynamo Zagreb. And he is only at the age of 22 is the player. I think Gerard Lopez, the Lille's owner, he said, that Gabriel Magalhaes, is expected to leave Lille in this summer transfer window. Lille did finish fourth in Liga 1, so they didn't get qualification for the Champions League. So this is maybe why, the player does want to leave. He is a centre-half, and don't forget, Manchester United are in search for a centre-half, despite the fact that we have got 7 centre-halves in the team, because we're looking for someone to go alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. Because obviously, Victor Lindelof, quite frankly, he's not on Harry Maguire's level. Like I said, Eric Bailly's always injured. Phil Jones and Tuanzebe don't even get in the team and all of that. So we do need a centre-half to go alongside Maguire. So would Gabriel Magalhaes, be the right calibre player for Man United? We've also looked at other centre-halves as well. We've looked at Kalidou Koulibaly from Napoli. We've also looked at Tyrone Mings from Aston Villa. So anyway, that's the latest news regarding him. So there's a possibility chance that Gabriel Magalhaes, could be our first signing in this summer transfer window. Now, let's delve into the news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. So, Sancho to Manchester United now, reportedly, is edging closer, because Borussia Dortmund have said they are willing to accept an initial fee of £60 million. Now, there were stories coming out yesterday saying that Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund have agreed an initial £60 million fee for Sancho. Obviously, we'll be paying £60 million up front. Obviously, there's going to be add-ons included in the deal. I think there's going to be add-ons of around £30 or £40 million. These add-ons will be based on Jadon Sancho's appearances, how Manchester United progress in the Premier League, and how Manchester United progress in the Champions League and that. But, the deal is probably worth around £100 million or just a bit more than £100 million. Now, obviously, Jadon Sancho recently was on a private jet. After he did make an admission regarding Liverpool, he did say that he prefers a move to Liverpool over Man United, and them stories were stemming from Kicker, which I think is a German outlet. And also, he put a photo of him and Rashford on social media, when there was on England duty. And that. There was reports coming from the German press earlier on this week saying that, we had an £8 to £9 million bid turned down for Sancho, but actually, Manchester United had denied this. At one point, it said we was only willing to pay £80 million for Sancho, and before that, it said we was only willing to pay £50 million for the player. This is, what it had said. And Borussia Dortmund have already set their deadline for Sancho, for the sale of Sancho. Dortmund have said to us, we've got until the 10th of August to sign the player. Borussia Dortmund have now come to accept the fact that Sancho wants to leave. So they are now in the market looking for a replacement for him. They've recently been looking at Memphis Depay from Lyon. They've also been looking at Jonathan Ecout from Lille, valued at 41 million. They've also been looking at Rishika from Werder Bremen. So they've looked at quite a few replacements for him. But Dortmund have done good recruitment in the last few years. Obviously, they got Jude Bellingham the other week from Birmingham. They got Haaland in January. They bought players like Julian Brandt and Thorgan Hazard and Emre Can in recent years. But there again, on the other hand, Borussia Dortmund have let quite a few of their players go to the Premier League in recent years. And there's also players that they've let go who didn't go to the Premier League. We've already revealed what shirt number Jadon Sancho is going to be wearing, and that's going to be the number 7. Because obviously, we have got number 7 vacant at the moment. But like I've said to you before, we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. Sancho's still got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. Borussia Dortmund only paid £8 million for the player. They only paid £8 million for him from City back in 2017, and this has now been Sancho's 3rd season at Dortmund. So, analyse his performances in the few years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. But I've outlined the reasons why I want Sancho at Man United is because he's well proven in the Premier League, and plus he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford, and plus he is predominantly a right winner. And he is only the age of 20, or is he 21 now, Sancho? Borussia Dortmund's director Michael Zorg's come out recently and said that he hopes Jadon Sancho does stay at Borussia Dortmund for next season. But we know that Fabrizio Romano's spoken about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga quite a few times. Christian Falk spoken about it the other week, and also too Simon Stone from the BBC spoken about it the other week and that. I also believe Sancho recently returned to Borussia Dortmund training and that. But he's our number one priority target and he's been our number one priority target for a while. But Solskjaer's come out and said he wants a deal done quickly for Sancho and that. So yeah, so that is the latest on that. But we have looked at some alternatives to Sancho, don't forget, because I will admit, these cheaper solutions than him. Obviously, earlier on today, I give you the breaking news regarding Raul Jimenez. You already know the news on him. You already know the news regarding Jack Grealish from Aston Villa. Ed Woodward has come out and he has said that he wants to make three more signings after, we do get Jadon Sancho on the board. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did recently say that he wants to make at least 3 signings in this summer transfer window because he thinks we need at least 3 signings, if we are to be title contenders next season. I did say our expectations next season will be to challenge for the Premier League title and that. We've got to spend money to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. This is, what Manchester United have got to do. And, Solskjaer's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. At the start of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure, Solskjaer, did say he wanted to make around 9 signings. He did agree this with Mike Phelan. And so far, Solskjaer has made 4 permanent signings at the football club and spent just over £200 million at Man United. We've obviously, brought a few young players in as well. Obviously we know that our transfer budget for this summer transfer window has been confirmed. Solskjaer's got around £140 million to spend. Obviously, we're going to be selling players in this summer transfer window, so our transfer budget will increase. I think we are going to get rid of at least 7 players in this summer transfer window. But to be fair, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in to the football club. Since, he got recommended in to the football club and all of that. But it'll be interesting to see, what players Manchester United do sign because this has been the 7th season now, we've failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season at the club. But like I said, obviously Solskjaer will be Man United manager next season. I did say, didn't I, even if we didn't get qualification for the Champions League, I still knew Solskjaer would have been Manchester United manager for next season because it is a transition period and it has been a transition period for a while. And let's put into the equation, the vast majority of this team is not Solskjaer's, the vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's because Jose Mourinho recommended 11 players into Man United. Obviously, Van Gaal brought a lot of players in, but a lot of players who Van Gaal brought in have now left the club. Obviously, we brought 2 players in under the David Moyes era, and there's still a few players here from the Alex Ferguson era and that. And don't forget Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager, since the Alex Ferguson era. We sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes, Louis Van Gaal, and Jose Mourinho. But not in the last 7 years, we haven't only had different managers with different philosophies. We spent close to the £1 billion range on players, and we've recruited a good 32, 33 players in since Alex Ferguson's retirement. We've also got players on big contracts at the football club. So let's just put that into the equation. Solskjaer has now been at Manchester United over a year and a half. I think he's been permanent Manchester United manager for a good, 15 or 16 months now. But, recently, we're replicating what we did in that 3-month period when Solskjaer was, the interim manager. But he's learned quite a lot, Solskjaer, since he came in. He has got some managerial experience behind him now. Reflecting how long he's been at the club, Man United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. But we'll see how things go next season. We know that next season is starting on the 12th of September. Like I said, we've got around 8 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. So we have got to make a decision on these 8 players. But we have extended a lot of players' contracts, to be fair, since Solskjaer came into the football club. But Solskjaer's got big decisions to make in this summer transfer window. Like I mentioned, he has got big decisions to make. You know. But I still don't know if he is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. Of course, time is gonna tell. It really, really is in that. But yeah, so that's mainly everything to update you with today. I think Man United are still trying to get a director of football in, like he updated you recently. You know, because to join Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's structure, isn't he, really? You know, I said if we are going to get a director of football, you know, we need someone who knows the club inside out and someone who's got that experience and all of that. But I think Solskjaer knows he's reliable enough, you know, to get us the players that, you know, we do want in. You know. But, you know, we had a much better season than last season, didn't we? You know, because last season, you know, we finished 6th. You know, it was very, very poor that season. We really, really was. And, yeah, and don't forget, you know, before the resumption of the season anyway, you know, we had taken around the £140 million loan to help us, you know, get the players that, you know, we do want into the football club. But, yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.